Welcome to Cars, Shops, and Collections. And everyone, this is Dane. And Dane has a wicked collection of Camaros. We got a 67 in there, right? Yep. We got an 88 in there?
Yep.
And we got a 2000 in there?
Yes.
And you got a couple other red vehicles here.
Got a few other.
Dude, it's great to meet you, buddy. Thanks for having us. And this is Gene behind the camera.
Gene, nice to meet you.
This is Dane, and we're gonna go see his collection of Camaros. Dude, I love it, man. Thanks for having us, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
I love that.
Hey, well, Todd said he had a couple other ones too.
Yeah. So, my son's got a red truck up in Idaho.
Oh, does he?
Moved up there, and we're gonna help him move into his house.
Check this out. Oh my gosh, 1967. There's our 88 IROC-Z. And back there, the Catfish, the 2000. Check that one out back there. This is a spectacular garage too, man. This is awesome. This is gonna be a great episode. Welcome again, everyone, to Cars, Shops, and Collections. And this is Dane. Thank you again for having us, man. This is a really cool collection. Now, Dane and I have a mutual friend. That's how we connected on this. Let's dive into this, and maybe we do like a quick once-over of the three and then pull them out in the sun so everyone can see them.
Absolutely.
You're 67.
Yeah, so I got this when I was 16 for $4,000. My parents bought it for me, my first car.
This was your first car at 16?
My very first car.
Oh my gosh.
I got it on December 22nd of 1996.
Okay.
And it was a small 327 two-barrel car, original four-speed. Since that time, in the last 39 years, my dad and I have rebuilt a 396, 375 horse, stock type of engine that it could have come with in 1967.
Okay.
And then had the four-speed in it for a long time, and about 5 years ago, I put a Tremec five-speed into it.
Is it true SS?
It is not.
It's not, okay.
Nope.
SS badging on it?
It's SS badging with Z28 stripes and 16-inch IROC wheels, so it's all everything. If I took the wheels off, other than that, it'd look pretty stock, right?
This is your own,
Yeah.
your own style here. You have a thing for red.
I do. We
Now-
call it Mattoon red.
Is this the original paint?
This is not. It's
Okay.
been repainted 3 times.
67, the red was a Bolero.
Bolero red.
And then we go to your 88 Camaro here.
88. I got this in 1998, and I had this painted in 2000. It was a maroon car, but it is bright red now, the right color for 1988.
Oh, so this is period correct,
Yep.
88 paint on it.
Yes.
But it started as a maroon car,
Yes.
keeping your 88 theme.
Correct.
No Gen 2 Camaro, you went right to Gen 3.
I would like a 70.5 at some time, but 3 and 4 are cheaper.
You need more garage space too.
I need more garage.
But by the way though.
I grew up in the 80s,
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say.
my parents ordered a 1986 brand new Z28.
Did they really?
And so I got to drive that when I was brand new with my license, so I had to have an IROC.
No kidding. Oh my gosh. These, the Gen 3 Camaros, Barrett Jackson,
They are going up.
They're going up.
They are
yeah.
going up.
Going up. We'll break it down more when we pull it outside. We call it the Catfish, the 2000
Yes.
Camaro. The original color?
Original color, original paint. Got it in July of 2023, and it had 22,000 original miles, and it's got almost 27,000 on it now.
Okay. I want to dive into the speed record you have in this Camaro.
Yeah, so I bought this to actually do the Silver State Challenge open road racing. This is my dedicated race car for that. Even though it's just stock, I did hit a top speed of 162 miles an hour. In the class that I could only hit 164 because the computer limits it to 162.
Okay.
And I did hit that, and then my son and I got second place and averaged 129 point something for second place on a 130 mile an hour average we were supposed to do.
Now, we have viewers that watch the show from around the world, and thank you for watching. We're big in Australia, and I just got a stat, we're also big in Canada right now. So we have viewers from around the world watching the show.
Great.
Explain to what that race is. That's on an open stretch of highway that is shut down?
It's the world's fastest open road race in the world. It's a 90-mile stretch of road in central eastern Nevada that we shut down for 8 hours in one Sunday in May, one in September, and we race against the clock and try to get the best time, the best average towards your average time.
It's such a neat thing that happens. It's great condition.
It is.
I mean, spectacular condition. And it's the red is the rally red?
This is bright red.
Bright red, okay.
Bright red.
Bright red, perfect. Wow. I like the look of the 2000 Camaro.
I do too.
You know, each one has its own personality, has its own fit. And it's neat to see the evolution of how they change. But you look inside the interior, and it is so 90s inside this car.
It's like the graffiti, they think they call that pattern.
Oh, yeah, the seats there? Yes, absolutely. The big bulky buttons there on the radio right there, which is kind of that same center console that you'd find in like other 2000, like a Chevy Suburban. I think even in
the same exact radio.
In the Corvette too, I think.
Malibus.
Yeah, in the Malibu. Yeah, the Malibu and in a Camaro. Can we pull the 67 out? Yeah, do it. You want to take it down a little farther here in the sun? Like right here, Gene? That's perfect. '67, you still have the vent windows there, '67. Those were gone in '68, right?
Yep, only year. First year and the only year.
So that's how you can tell you're looking at a '67. Plus, there's no fender lights there, reflectors
Side marker
there,
light.
side marker lights. Yeah.
Correct.
And then '67, you have the ignition on the dash. That went away in '68. It's cool with the stripes, the black rally stripes going across it. How does it feel driving this?
It feels raw.
Yeah.
It's a true muscle car.
Uh-huh.
It has a quick ratio Z28 manual steering in it.
Okay.
So if you're not moving, it's very hard to. If you're trying to parallel park, it's very hard. if you're doing 20, it steers right. But other than that, it's tight.
The Camaro, the first one came out in September of '66 for the '67.
Correct. And this is October. This is the first week of October, second week of October build.
Of '67.
'66.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
this is a very early car.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm the third owner of this. I know all.
Really?
Yeah, and I know everybody.
Who's it?
This is Eastern Washington, out of Pullman, Washington. It was bought out of Colfax, Washington, and then the owner lived in Colton. The second owner lived in Moscow, Idaho, and then I bought it from him.
Wow. This is October of '66. Holy smokes. How'd you find that out? Just based on from the first owner? or-
It's on the trim tag.
Okay.
Yep. And I've got the Protecto plate. Have you
Yeah.
ever heard of that?
No.
So when you bought one of these cars new back then, all the Chevys, and I don't know if Ford's did them or not, but GM cars, you'd get the owner's manual and then a warranty, and they would put a Protecto plate, they said on the back, where you could stamp. They would stamp the day and your name and stuff, and that was when your warranty started. So I've got the original.
No kidding.
Yeah, which are pretty rare.
Wow. Can we see under the hood on this one?
Oh,
And then
absolutely.
We'll pull out
Whatever, you just-
another one?
You let me know what you want.
Tell us what we're looking at.
So this is a 396, 375 horse. It's not an original engine, but it is a 1967 engine, so it's period correct.
Okay.
It is bored 30 over, so technically it's a 402. But my dad and I put a hydraulic cam, a Chevy comparable hydraulic cam in it for 375 horse, and then we've got the headers on it. And other than that, there's no power steering, no air conditioning, no power brakes on this. It's a very basic car. I've got one fan belt, and it runs the alternator and the fan.
I love the long hood.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the
short
pony
deck
car.
lid. Yeah,
the
exactly.
pony car
exactly.
look, right?
All right, let's pull out the '88.
Okay.
Kind of the MTV era muscle car. You know,
It
girls,
screams
girls,
80s.
girls. Yeah, exactly. Screams '80s. IROC-Z. I love the IROC-Z on the side. So you had it painted, and you
Yep.
then put the.
Redid everything correct. I took all the measurements before I took them
you
down.
did?
Yeah, oh yeah, took Polaroids of them. That's how long ago.
Can we open up? and see
Open it
inside?
up.
The condition of this inside.
And it's all original.
Is it? It's like
Yep.
it's brand new.
I know the person who owned this first. I'm the second owner of this one.
Really? Where's this one
Moscow,
from?
Idaho.
Idaho?
Yeah, that's where I'm from originally. And
Okay.
then my friend I bought that from, he owned a dealership, a Chevy dealership for 40 years. And now,
1988, Mike. Can I sit inside?
yes, absolutely.
1988. This radio in 1988. Holy cow! With the equalizer down
That
here.
was top of the line.
It is. Your cassette player.
Yep,
The T-tops. Do they leak?
they do not. But it doesn't ever sit out either.
And we're in Vegas too, so
Right, that helps.
Rain, can we see under the hood on it?
Yes,
You got the bags for the T-tops back there too?
they're in it.
Yeah. Oh,
That
yeah.
bag, they're in it.
This is just show, right?
That's all totally
all
for show.
show?
Yep. But that's a 5.7 350, so the biggest engine you could get. And you couldn't get a stick with a 350 in any of these years. So anybody who has a 5-speed in these, they're originally a 305 car.
Okay.
They could be tuned port, but they weren't a 350. And there's a big difference.
And then the air intake underneath here?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so it all ramps up under here, and then there's 2 air cleaners right here.
Okay. The daytime running lights?
Yeah, fog lights.
Yeah. Bow tie, man.
In '88, that actually said Camaro, and they came out in '91 with this.
Oh, did they really?
So I put that one in.
Yeah, I could stare at it for hours, but it just amazes me.
And if you want to pop the back hatch, that middle button right there, just push down.
Right here?
Yep, pull it towards the back.
Which just seems, it's very convenient, but also a real odd spot of driving with your buddies or
But
something.
look at no cup holder. Never even thought of a cup holder.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, no cup holder at all. Yeah. But it just seems so easy to hit that button right there as you're driving.
It actually has a lockout.
Oh, does it really?
If it's not in park, it won't.
Okay, so
it won't
same
release.
right there with your elbow right there on the shifter.
So this is the original T-top bag, so both T-tops are stored in here.
Okay. The massive amount of glass.
It is heavy.
Yeah.
It is heavy, and you take it off, it looks like a little El Camino.
Yeah.
I stripped this car completely down myself and took it to get it repainted at Frank's Auto Body, and so I took everything off it, and it really looked weird.
It really does without the glass.
Oh,
yeah. I never
yeah.
looked at it that way from the side.
Before you leave, I'll show you some pictures of it, and it looks weird when nothing on the.
Yeah. Then is this where they access the trunk back here?
Yep.
Is it power?
So
open?
yes, they were power. I thought mine was broken, so I took it apart to put a new one in it, and I started to look, and it must have broke, and the dealer, he must have broke a couple times because they took it in, put it in the right spot, and they welded it. So
did they really?
Mine works perfect, but it's supposed to be an electric pull down where you just latch it and it goes.
Yeah, it closes on
right?
it by
Because
itself.
when the cars were so tight, this would bounce. So if you had a bag full of groceries or something, you tried to shut it, it would just bounce because of the air pressure. So they put this electric pull down to just seat
right
it. But mine does not have that now that it's welded.
Can you see? You said you could see the maroon coloring?
Yeah. See the shock tower? That's one thing I like is it's not overt.
Yeah.
But if you look, that's not bright red.
Yeah.
And that side. So we painted it much as you could paint without taking the engine out.
Okay. And that was done here in town?
Yeah, Frank's Auto Body.
Frank's Auto Body?
Remember,
Oh, yeah.
and he's retired. He sold it now, but Frank, he lives right over here. He's a really good friend of mine.
Okay.
So he painted this in 2019 for me, a repaint, and then painted this. That's when we really got to know each other. And
Does he specialize in Mercedes-Benz too?
he does.
But European?
Yeah, European.
Okay.
Yep, their Boulder Highway shop does
All right,
that.
let's pull out the 2000.
Yeah.
So we've got our Gen 3, 1982 to 1992 is when we had the Gen 3. Then we go 93 to 2002 with the Gen 4, and then 2002 they were done until 2010.
Yep.
That wedge style to it.
It's very pronounced.
Yeah. It is so neat to see them side by side. You lose the edges of the Gen 3 going to the Gen 4. It's so much, it's round, yeah.
But that is, I mean, that's just 80s, right? Just
It is,
angles, fighter jet.
It really is. Like a GoBot transformer ready to do its thing. Yeah, going back to the interior of this, so 90s, big, huge steering wheel, airbag, massive airbag there in the center. Then you have here, so no cup holders.
Right. This is the very first cup holder. 93 was the very first cup holder ever in a Camaro.
In 93? Yep. Was it really?
And that's where it went through the 93 to 2002, right there.
So you have your first cup holder, but you're probably saying, okay, what about the passenger over here, correct?
Yep.
Passenger cup holder right there.
And it's not a very good one.
There's really not much to it, huh?
No.
Can we see under the hood on this? So on the 2000, it's
a ram air. So that is functional.
But-
And then that comes around, comes here.
Right here?
Feel these.
Oh, yeah.
And then they dump right here.
Okay.
And the air cleaner's right there.
So it comes in, there's two
Yeah.
ports here. Yep, and then right down, okay. This is so clean.
It is. It's like it came off the showroom, really.
Yeah, it really is.
The original owner put that brace in it,
Okay.
and other than that, it was just a stock car. These are the original wheels.
Is it original wheels?
Yep.
It's neat to see all three lined up.
We bought this in Vancouver, Washington. So the guy, he was a retired cop up there, and he had bought it from the original owner's son when the original owner passed, and he only had it for a few months, and he put it up for sale. So we started talking. Had the same background of being a cop, so he picked us up at the airport. 10 minutes to his house. I drove it half a block. It looked and said just like, so I picked up my wife, gave him the money, and then we drove 1,500 miles home the next 3 days down
did you
PCH.
really? No
Yeah,
way.
it was so nice.
That's great.
It was so nice. And it just runs like a top.
The roll cage there, so that was put in?
Yeah, so in the Silver State Classic, if you have any open top car, a convertible or a T-top, you have to have a roll bar in, in any class.
Okay.
So now the class I'm running in 130, you have to have one, and then I have racing seats that I put in. I'll be putting the racing seats after the next couple weekends, because I have to have a 5-point harness.
Yeah, because these seats are very comfortable, very 90, but not much grip to you.
No, there's not a lot.
Yeah. Power seats?
Yeah, it's got a power seat.
Power seat? Oh, just a driver?
Just
Yeah.
a driver.
Yeah, sorry, passenger. And then trunk?
Yep.
Can I hit it?
Yep.
I like how it's yellow so you can see it.
Yes. Go ahead. And that's where, and then the T-top store back here in their own little space, they lock in.
Which was something that I think this came out in 94, 93 or 94, to be able to lock in your T-tops.
Oh, okay.
In the
Yeah.
back here, yeah.
And then you can actually lock them. And then when those aren't there, you have this little hatch hider. That
To hide your
you can put stuff
groceries
down here
and
and
stuff,
nobody
yeah.
can see. Then that seat folds forward. The IROC has both seats.
So that seat folds down. You can fit a lot of stuff in the back.
So it
of
actually
this
had 18-inch Corvette style 5-spoke wheels on it when I bought it, but he had those, and I asked him, would you take the tires off?
Are these the original wheels?
They're the
or is it
original wheels.
5-spokes?
No, these are the original wheels. But he had the 5-spoke Corvette, so you'll see if I show you some pictures when we bought it, it has those on it. But I had him go down and take the tires off, and I put all 4 tires back there on our 1,500-mile trip back.
Did you really?
Yeah, so of wheels, I mean, all
Yeah.
4 wheels back there, so we had the original, because I wanted the original wheels.
Dude, I love it. Should we go for a ride?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So we may have alluded to it, but Dane, a former police officer, thank you, by the way, for protecting our city for how many years?
Almost 25.
25 years. I love it. Thank you. And that's how our connection is. My buddy Todd is a former police officer as well, so that's the connection there. But I was just telling, we do these ride-alongs. We would love to open them up, but we're on a regular street, so we don't, we don't get crazy.
Right.
So I gave Dane the, oh, you feel it right there.
It's got
yeah,
torque.
It's got the
It's got the 350 torque.
Right, gave Dane the little, hey, you don't have to get crazy. But there's so many episodes where we tell on the ride, like, hey, you don't have to get crazy. And everyone's like, all right. And sure enough, it's like, like it's awesome. We're not going to show it. We can't, we don't want to go. We can't go
I
nuts.
gotta let these 230 ponies free.
Yeah, they got to get out there.
Yeah, these are no horsepower. They were hot in '88, but man, compared to today, they're nothing.
This is a smooth ride, though.
It is, isn't it?
Very smooth ride.
It's a fun car to drive. It pretty much drives itself.
1988. I mean, this is the epitome of coolness in 1988. I think there were about 25,000 IROC-Zs made in 1988.
Sounds about right. This has 82,000 original miles on it.
My 2017 Dodge Challenger has 120,000 miles on it. And it's comfortable right there. Gene in the back seat?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Okay. Police officer, is it true that a red car pops out and stands out to you guys?
To me, it never mattered.
Yeah.
But I wasn't real much a traffic guy. I was more a real bad guy.
Okay. I remember just always hearing that. Oh, it's a red car. It's a
Yeah.
red car. It's going to stick out. Like, I think if you're speeding, you're speeding. It sounds great, too.
Yeah.
It's the sound of the Z28.
I had to put a muffler in it a few years ago, but I put the stock style.
Oh,
and
did you?
everything, so
Yeah.
it sounds just like, it's got a good little rumble to it for what it is.
In 88, you could get a convertible
Yes.
But all those started as T-tops, correct?
Correct, and then they were shipped out. I'm going to give you just a little torque.
Yeah.
It does that pretty effortlessly, even though it doesn't have much horsepower. The tune port's known for making torque.
Okay.
So that they couldn't have horsepower back then for what they were doing with smog and all that stuff.
Yes.
But they made it torquey, and that's why these cars feel.
You feel it, yeah. You feel it.
They're not really fast, but they feel it.
Speedometer goes to what?
145.
145?
Yeah. I've had it to 138. I really wanted to race this, but I'm not going to put a roll bar in it.
Yeah, you can't.
Because it's just too, I like this one too much. I probably shouldn't have done it to the 2000, but I did a really
But then with the T-top too, I mean, this gives you some more stability, correct?
Uh-huh.
All right, Gene, you got to pick out of the 3 we just looked at. Dane lets you take one home. Which
67.
So think about it.
It's never a question. Everybody says 67.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going right here. I'm going to 88.
Well, and you know, 3 years ago, I had both cars out at the Boulder City Dam Best Dam Worst. And it was funny. They were parked next to each other. This got 20 times more attention because they had the art fair. And there weren't really car people coming through. It was regular people, and they're like, "Oh, I had one of these. Oh, it's the fastest car. My buddy had one."
I remember this, yes.
Yeah, so it was our age
of
people coming and doing that stuff, and it brings back nostalgia. That's why they're going up in price too.
Yeah, Barrett Jackson, they're going off the charts out there. Well, Dane, official, thank you so much for sharing your cars with us. This is, I'm glad we connected, and this is, like I said a couple of times, a great way to spend a Saturday. And what history that you have here throughout your life. It's really neat. I think, though, for a bonus, I'm going to say my goodbye here, like the official goodbye. I think that for the bonus, could you do a quick show of, I'm sure people saw the trucks.
Oh, yeah.
We have to show these, because people will be saying, tell us more about the trucks in the background.
So these trucks are made by Nylent Corporation. I don't know when Nylent started, but it was a long time ago, but they went out of business in 2000. In between, at least through the 70s and all the way up to 2000, they would go out and find local companies or big corporations, and they would offer to make them a run of trucks to advertise their wares, give to their salespeople, give to their families and friends and stuff like that. They also made toys for like Walmart and stuff. So see the Z28 car up there? So that was just sold at a regular store. Same with the logging truck. And Golden Eagle, those are just regular ones you could buy at the store.
Okay.
All these down here are all corporate or business ones. And if you look on Facebook on Nylent page, you'll see a different one of these every single day posted from across America. It's just crazy how many. They did regional ones.
And this is the one for you that
Yep,
started
so
it
this
all?
is the first one. I got this in 1977 when my dad worked at General Telephone. He bought that for me for a Christmas present. Years later, Chevy started doing a run for 10 years of Goodrich service, and you could buy them at their service base. They get a different one every year.
Yeah.
And so I started getting all those, and then when we were going to the Portland swap meet, started seeing some for sale, so I just started collecting. And if I find one that's in decent shape, I'll buy it usually.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them are new in the box. I have all the boxes upstairs.
Look at the Fisher body one up there. That's cool.
And then
They're all
Delco
cool.
Ramey, AC Delco, all together. Mr. Goodrich, that one sat in the sun.
Oh, yeah.
JC, I have a trivia question for you.
Bring it.
Do you remember the commercials for GTE? Somebody would say G, and they say no, GTE.
Wow.
But I don't know if you had that.
I'm younger.
But I don't know if you had that down here. Were you Bell down here, or?
No, I would. Yeah, so I grew up in Pennsylvania. I was Bell.
Okay,
Yeah,
got you.
But I was Bell. Yeah.
Oh, I lived in Oregon, so that's why.
Okay, that's why, because I
really?
was in Northwest was GTE, and I was in
Yeah, Bell,
northern Idaho.
And I see a couple of Camaros over there.
Yeah, I've had some friends give me some models of likenesses of my cars, which is always nice to get.
Johnson Controls.
Yeah, so they make. There again, that's starting to get down into the weeds of some of the companies that are out there.
Yeah,
And they make electronic control things like for thermostats. I mean, all sorts of electronic controls for different kind of machinery.
Okay. I love the to your right, Gene, the Polaris one. Hibernating is for bears.
And then my friend who owns the dealership where we bought all these,
Yeah.
I was working at a beer distributor in college, so he took the Walmart one, which were like $20 on the shelf. He had him strip it down. He had this made and had my name put on it.
There, yeah, it's good.
And then that Budweiser there was also made by somebody because they didn't have the beer ones.
Little TV trucks up there.
Yeah, so those.
Oh, wow, ABC Sports.
Yeah, they came actually with a couple people and tubes that you could hook, which were wires.
Yeah.
And then that's both sides of the truck. And then inside you can see it's a TV studio.
Yeah.
And it
So
was
it's an actual 1980 truck then?
Yes, it is. They made them for the Winter Games, and if you find one that's complete, they're $400, $500, $600.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That itself is neat seeing
Yeah.
that.
And to see the little the camera trolley, it should have a camera on it with a guy that sits on it, but that's as much as I
I
have.
mean, that's what you need, being a TV guy. Me too, I guess, as well. I'm CBS and Gene works for Fox here.
Yes.
Okay. This is
Great.
This is neat, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed soaking this all in as much as I did. This was cool. This was fun.
If you want your car, shop, or collection featured on the show, then shoot us an email at carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. That's carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Cars, Shops, and Collections.